illegal. Get him! Get him! Get him! Get him!
We are only on day 3 of Operation Charlotte's Web in Charlotte, North Carolina, and we already have a high-speed chase involving an illegal immigrant with firearms in his vehicle and a Border Patrol agent getting injured.
This is the illegal traffic stop! This is the illegal traffic stop! This is the illegal traffic stop!
So when federal agents finally catch up to the person who was using their vehicle as a weapon, federal agents start getting yelled at and being told this is an illegal traffic stop. So we have a lot to cover. Now before we start the video, make sure to please like the video. It's the #1 way you guys are helping this channel, and it also helps others see the videos as well. You're not gonna see this on the mainstream media, so I do need your help to get the videos out there. Thank you guys so much for your support. Let's get to the video. Okay, so here's the main video Homeland Security commented on. Pay attention to this white van right here. That's who's fleeing from Homeland Security.
They chasing illegal.
So right off the bat, driving from the road onto the side right here, already illegal.
Get him! Get him! Get him!
Almost hitting these federal agents, #2.
Get him!
And then cutting across traffic right here. The reason why I'm being so picky about the video is because these are serious traffic violations and the person who's filming saw everything, yet they will still roll up on the federal agents and question, why are they arresting someone?
What do I... Slow down, just stay right here. This is the illegal traffic stop! 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 No! This is the... No! No! I do not... I can stay here. I have the right to record. I have the right to record. I have the right to record.
I mean, I think the video speaks for itself. Now you have a protester who's committing their own traffic violation in the middle of a very serious event. This is somebody who used their vehicle, who tried to ram into federal agents. According to Homeland Security, there is a firearm inside of the vehicle, and here you have a protester who doesn't even know the entire situation, and yet they still stop and are yelling at the federal agents.
This is an illegal traffic stop! This is an illegal traffic stop!
Get the fuck back!
Illegal traffic stop! Yes, I'm backed up! I'm backed up! I'm backed up! I'm about to turn around. I'm turning around.
And we also have another camera angle of what happened.
Oh my God, this is not okay. This ain't okay, dude. This is not okay. This is not okay. This is not okay. Oh my God. Oh my God.
So as you can see from this camera angle, even this person seems to be upset. Now, let's go to the Homeland Security statement so we know the full context, what exactly happened. So here's the kicker. That was an American citizen. Now, according to Homeland Security, here's what they said. This afternoon in Charlotte, near University City, a United States citizen weaponized his vehicle driving a large van at law enforcement while they were conducting an operation. He immediately fled the scene, started a dangerous high-speed chase through a densely populated area. During the chase, he attempted to ram into law enforcement vehicles, posing a serious public safety threat. As agents were boxing him in, the driver proceeded to ram law enforcement vehicles in an attempt to escape. When the driver was arrested, a firearm was found in the vehicle. One law enforcement officer was injured. And the perpetrator has prior arrests for resisting law enforcement, public disturbance, and intoxication / disruptive conduct. This is why context matters, because if we don't know the context and all of a sudden you see Homeland Security arrest American citizen, we have seen this before, which is why I make my videos, to give you the full context, and you don't only see one video of a protester who's mad at the arrest. And by the way, if you are new here, we cover stuff like this all the time. Make sure to please subscribe so you don't miss stories just like this. And if you are watching TV, use the QR code. That's an easier way to subscribe to my channel. Scan the QR code. You can subscribe that way. Thank you guys so much. Okay, now get ready for this. Another big story came out of Charlotte where it looked like Homeland Security may have used a firearm on an illegal immigrant. Now, this is the video that was circulating, and then wait until you hear what actually happened. You're not gonna believe it.
Pussy! Y'all ain't supposed to bring that to the hood, bro. I'm trying to say. I ain't gonna let him get you. Even a citizen party. When you wake up, gang, escape.
Here's what happened, straight from Trisha McLaughlin. No, this criminal illegal alien from Mexico had a panic attack and was taken to the hospital where he attempted to escape by climbing into the ceiling tiles from the hospital bathroom. He was unsuccessful and was apprehended inside the ceiling by law enforcement. He has a prior arrest for assault. Okay? That's why he was in a stretcher. People thought a firearm was used against him. No, he was in a stretcher, he had a panic attack, he was being brought to the hospital, and according to Trisha McLaughlin from Homeland Security, he went into the ceiling of the hospital and he was arrested in the ceiling. I don't know if you guys heard about this story, but leave your comments down below. This one really stood out to me. Okay, now get ready for this. The mayor of Evanston, Illinois has decided to chime in on what's happening in Charlotte, North Carolina. If that name sounds familiar, well, he's the guy who was standing in front of the Broadview ICE facility and was caught on camera where he's putting his hands on federal agents' vehicles. Well, here's what he has to say.
A warning this weekend from the mayor of Evanston to the people of Charlotte. Mayor Daniel Biss offering some timely advice as ICE agents step up immigration enforcement with all too familiar tactics. Scott Schneider has more.
Randy, they're in our yard.
Operation Charlotte's Web, the latest ICE deployment in North Carolina, all part of President Trump's ongoing crackdown on illegal immigrants. Like here in Chicago, federal agents are showing up unannounced in Charlotte neighborhoods in unmarked vehicles. A tactic that for Evanston Mayor Daniel Biss hits too close to home.
Look, we saw this across the Chicago area. You know, they tell the national press they're going after the worst of the worst, but what they're really doing is just driving around, picking people up based on the color of their skin.
I think now is a good time to mention that the mayor is running for Congress. So one thing I'm noticing, just an observation, he keeps popping up with these interviews and media whenever it has to do with ICE. Again, we are focusing on Charlotte, North Carolina, totally different operation. And here you have a mayor, totally different jurisdiction, talking about another operation, which by the way, they are not the same. The operation that's happening with Operation Midway Blitz, totally different than what we're seeing in Charlotte for legal issues, logistical issues, and many other reasons. But here you have a mayor who's trying to connect the two, and really it looks like he's making it about him.
Over the weekend, Biss penned an op-ed to the Charlotte Observer, sharing some of his personal successes along with his concerns for the people living there.
Can you kind of touch on what your messaging was and the intent?
Yeah, this is all about people coming together to keep each other safe, right? What we learned here in the Chicago area is if they get too much attention, if there's too much commotion, if they're being watched too closely, they don't like that, they move elsewhere.
Here's a mayor giving advice to be loud, get in the way, and yell. And by the way, he is on camera once again with a whistle and telling people to do exactly with what he's saying. He's not hiding the fact that he's okay with yelling and screaming and getting in the way of these agents. He has said that already on camera. We've covered him like 5 times.
Border Control Commander Greg Bovino reports nearly 100 ICE arrests in Charlotte Saturday alone. In a statement, the DHS says, "We are surging DHS law enforcement to Charlotte to ensure Americans are safe and public safety threats are removed."
Okay, so now I think it's a really good time to point out this news agency just used a clip of Border Patrol agents smashing a window without the context. So I want to know the context. Why did you just show a clip where Border Patrol is smashing a window? You would think that's a really big story. Well, according to Homeland Security, American citizens should never help criminals evade ICE. It turns out, and we talked about this on a previous video, this person who was filming his windows getting shattered, he admitted to helping helping illegal immigrants evade ICE, Homeland Security. He was trying to stall them. We can watch the video, but they even say during an enforcement operation in Charlotte, this individual became erratic, refused law commands, and had to be removed from his vehicle. DHS law enforcement followed their training to remove him. The individual later admitted he was trying to distract officers so others could evade the law. And again, right here, we can actually watch it real quick.
Y traté de retenerlos como por 20 minutos a los oficiales en los que las personas podían irse.
Okay, he literally says on camera, I stalled the agents for 20 minutes. But again, we already covered this story a couple of videos ago, but I'm trying to show you, if you have news agencies who are playing really aggressive clips without the context, of course you're gonna watch that clip and you're like, whoa, Border Patrol, how could you do that? Well, with a little more context, I mean, this could be applicable to me and you. What if you get pulled over for a very simple traffic stop and you decide, I'm gonna stall the local police officer here for 20 minutes? Every single one of us would probably be in some trouble, or there might be a confrontation, or there might be some probable cause that there could be an issue, because generally speaking, a traffic stop in the totality of the stop takes about 20 minutes. Now, imagine just stalling before we even get to the identification or anything like that. Of course, Border Patrol is gonna say, okay, hold on, something might be happening here. So the whole context is very crucial. I'm not advocating for any sort of violence or clashing, but we have to look at everything case by case. Context is key.
Charlotte's a beautiful city, but in this case, its leadership has absolutely failed it. We know that there is more than 1,400 criminal illegal aliens who are in their jails, and they refuse to turn over those individuals to ICE law enforcement.
This by far is the #1 talking point. If you're ever talking to somebody who hates ICE and they hate Homeland Security, they love the sanctuary status, I always bring this up to people who have no idea this is a real thing. I don't think people realize this is a real thing where we have actual criminals and they happen to also be illegal immigrants, yet there is an issue of lines of communication or trying to figure out who the criminals are so they can be deported. Talk to anyone who loves ICE and Homeland Security and bring this up and really ask them, how do you feel about this? Because statistically speaking, they most likely are not cool with it because over 90% of Americans are not cool with it, so probably they won't be cool with it.
Which really, that means a revolving door of justice, and these criminal illegal aliens will go back onto Charlotte's streets to re-perpetuate their crimes. We're talking about serial child pedophiles, murderers, rapists, gang members, people who pose real public security threats to the American people. And so, of course, we are surging resources there, and we won't stop until Charlotte is safer.
And Trisha, we were seeing...
And to be clear, Charlotte is not a sanctuary city, yet we have like this middle ground. There are cities and states that act like sanctuary cities or act like sanctuary states, almost like brewing to become a sanctuary state. Not too long ago, I talked about the state of Maryland, where they are not technically a sanctuary state, but many people would say, yeah, they definitely act like one, and they are very close to being one.
Footage of crowds surrounding federal agents during arrests or searches for illegal aliens, and they hand out whistles for people to use to alert illegals that agents are nearby. How?
They must be watching my videos because I have been talking about the whistles for so long now. I've even gotten messages from people saying the whistles are not a big deal, stop talking about it. Now it's on Newsmax because it is a big deal. It just is.
Is DHS responding to these individuals who are essentially obstructing justice and getting in the way of these federal operations?
Well, if you are obstructing justice or you are putting hands on law enforcement, you can expect to be arrested and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. But we saw this out of New York. We saw this out of Chicago. We saw this out of Los Angeles. And yet we made more than 5,000 arrests so far in Chicago.
Guys, Homeland Security is not here to arrest people getting in their way. They're trying to arrest illegal immigrants or inquire if you are an illegal immigrant and deport you. I think a lot of people get this twisted. We pointed it out in Chicago. People are following Homeland Security agents and they get a warning. They're not immediately arrested. What we see is that there seems to have to be two causes for you to be arrested. You following, you obstructing, that's it. That's where you get arrested. But if you're going to follow Homeland Security, we actually don't see that many arrests. It has to be following and something else. Driving erratically, almost slamming into an agent, which is why, for those of you who want more of these people to be arrested, it's a pain in the butt for Homeland Security to do that. Like we saw at the beginning of the video, having to chase down an American citizen who was trying to hit Homeland Security agents, that pulls away a lot of resources. Now, obviously, they're going to use their resources to arrest you, but like we see time and time again, agents are very lenient, which doesn't work out for that whole they act like terror members and they're trying to terrorize communities. They seem to be a lot more lenient when you watch the raw footage. They give a lot of warnings.
About 7,000 out of Los Angeles, and we're going to keep going in those sanctuary cities. So as much as these activists and sanctuary city politicians want to try to slow us down, want to try to obstruct our efforts, we have the mandate of the American people. We are enforcing the rule of law that's on the books in Congress, and we will continue to enforce the law and make America's streets safer.
And that's the number one key here. You have the superseding of the law where federal agents can do what they want to do. Regardless of sanctuary status, regardless of lawmakers who hate ICE, it doesn't matter. ICE has the constitutional jurisdiction in which the rules were given to them on how they should operate, and they're doing their job.